Hello, I'm Kads, and welcome to today's video. So as promised, we've come to the final day of the Ethereal Deck of Fate. I have concluded as much champion training as I was willing to do. Obviously, I could have gone a lot harder. I have, tons and tons of gems that I could use, but I felt like this was enough, and also I have a decent amount of Soulstones saved up. So we'll be doing the rest of the 30,000-ish points in Soulstones, but you can see there we've gotten ourselves 10,600, which is a precise value. As I mentioned in my free-to-play review of the Ethereal Deck of Fate, I do indeed want the champion alongside the Titan event points, so I get, two birds with one stone, so to speak. And so our goal is to get all the way out there to the 40,000 points total and flip all the cards in the deck, which will practically guarantee that we get all of the champion fragments as well as all of the Titan event points. Now, when I said that was a precise value, that is because I did some math, and as you can see here, we have a bunch of soul stones, but I had one eternal soul stone at the time, but I spent some soul coins to get two more. That's that right there. These three is already 10,500 points. Then we're going to do 12 immortals, which is around 8,500 points, and then 150 mortals will top it off. So I guess we're going to do those in reverse order. low rarity first, and then high rarity last. But yeah, 150 mortals, 12 immortals, and then all three of the eternals. No boosted rates. So that is the plan to get the rest of the, I guess, 29,400 and something points. Now, considering that there are no boosted rates, my expectations are extremely low, but nonetheless, I'll highlight my wish list really quickly. We've got my kind of top three champions that I would just like to get them above the 1-star in which they currently are. And as far as the soul merchant goes, I'm looking for Lydia's soul because I know that one's going to benefit, guaranteed to benefit me long term, because Chimera, Clan Boss are not going anywhere, and I do want a higher level of her blessing, the Nature's Bounty, to upgrade the fear on her A1 into true fear sometimes against the ram form. So that's kind of the most wanted, but I'll also take Bai because he's at 1-star, and Yoshi, he's also at 1-star. And then for the epics, Whisper number 2, I think she's currently at 2-star, so anything above that for her would be good. I think my Dur the Hungerer is at 3 stars, so I think I want 4 or higher, ideally 5 for the extra resistance and whatnot. Then my Basher, I think, is at 4, and I'd like him at 5-star as well. And then some rares. If we can get any of these rares above 4, then they would be an improvement. So without further ado, let's get it cracking and see what we can get done. 150 mortals to kick things off, and again, expectations are very low, but hey, we got 6-star rare. Wow, look at that. But 1-star Calamitous, don't have him. We're striking the wish list there in terms of the 1-stars. 2-stars, nothing crazy. 1-star Galet of the Pact, I believe is his name. Oh, it doesn't actually show the name, but it doesn't matter. Void Legendary, who I do not have. 110 pop down, 14 to go. Let's keep it going here. I do expect this to be a huge rare train and just a huge low tier or low star train as well. 5-star Sun Wukong. Unfortunately, that my Sun Wukong from the Titan event is, or actually he might be 4 stars. Let me double check that. He might be 4 stars. That might actually be an upgrade to get him to 5, which is good for his stats. Although, granted, I don't really use him as much anymore, unfortunately. A couple of 1-stars from the wish list. Sulfurion, cool. Don't have him either, sadly. Gorgrab, I think he's above 2 stars, but we'll check that as well and see if that is an upgrade. Bunch of rares. Epic, we don't care about. More rares. Deacon is a 5-star, so that's going to get sold. And my Cornelia, I think, is above 2 stars, so that's going to be sold as well. Elhain, 1-star, not good enough. This is 10 pop number 4, if I am not mistaken. Lots of rares. 5-star Halberdier, unfortunately, don't use him. 4-star for Morag Bronzelock. That's probably an upgrade for her. Extra crit damage, which is good. My Atharion is 5-star because of the Soul Merchant and Essence and Coins. So I can sell the 1-star. Don't need that one. Let's double check where we are. Yeah, we're at 40. 50 now. Still got 100 more to go after all this. I think I have enough space for everything we plan to pull today. But if we run out near the end, we'll deal with that when we get there. 3-star for Arn the White. Don't have him, of course. He's a mythical champion, but cool. Another mythical soul added to the collection. It's a decent star rating as well. 2-star Ugo. I already have her at 5. No, 5 or 6. I think she's a 6-star, so I don't need that. Tagore is higher as well. Delver, I don't actually use, despite her being a AoE decreased defense for Dark Elves. Obviously, Lydia / Madame Sarah's kind of do that job fairly well. 4-star Lord Shazar. I don't use him much anymore. Anywhere I wanted to use Lord Shazar, I replaced with Ezio because it works a little bit cleaner. in a lot of instances, but that is an upgrade for him stat-wise. I think he's currently at 1 star, so we'll take that. Another 1-star Calamitous. Cool. I guess we can sell the other one. I don't know. I think Calamitous is one of the ones where I have a 5-star mythical soul for him, despite not having the champion. Wow. Lots of mythicals. Damn. If only there was a soul chase going on right now. This is kind of crazy. But a 4-star Ashnar, 4-star mythical. Also don't have him. So another mythical soul banked for, I don't know, some future state where we pull some of these guys. We'll see. I'll show you guys my collection of mythicals after the session is over here. Don't really expect much to change there. But every once in a while, as we just saw, we kind of get an upgrade for some mythical souls mythicals that I don't have. I go from like a 1-star to a 2-star, 3-star to a 4-star, etc. Usually nothing exciting. 3-star for Jorg. That might be an upgrade. That might be lower than where he is, but I'll take the 2-star Packmaster Shack. I think he's currently at 1-star, so that's a little bit of an improvement. Unfortunately, he doesn't benefit from the attack stat, so ideally he would have been a 3-star. That would have been the best outcome. Let's see here. Lots of 1-star, 1-star, another mythical, 5-star Kurosa. Okay, also don't have her, but if I do get her, we jump straight to 5-star. Man, like I said, I wish this was a soul chase. We're just hitting ridiculously good rates right now. That's kind of insane. Okay, 90 points, or a 90 pull. This is 100, so 5 more 10 pops after this. So I guess our only good fortune here is with the mythicals, which is kind of interesting for the ones we don't have. Oh, you know what? We did get the 4-star Lorchazar. There's our Whisper, 1-star, unfortunately not an upgrade. 3-star rare, not really helping us. We're getting some of the higher tier rares, but we're just not getting it alongside the wish list, unfortunately. I think this is 110. We still got 4 10 pops of the Mortals to go. I also, I should have done the math on that, but I didn't even account for the fact that we're going to get a decent amount of soul coins as well, which does kind of help improve the amount of immortals we effectively have. But the goal here was essentially to try and not spend any of the immortal, or redeem any of the immortal coins, but I was willing to redeem some of the eternal soul coins. 2-star Empress, pretty much useless after his Titan event where we got the 5-star, but we'll sell that one. Sabrael, 2-star. She's one of the newer mythicals in the game. Also don't have her, so not much to say there. Gerptuk, he might be unawakened, so 1-star I guess is better than 0, even though I don't really use the champion, although actually he might have a soul. Double check that later as well. 5-star War Priest, not exciting there. I've mentioned this before in the past, but any even up to a 6-star rare, if it's a rare I don't actually use, I just sell all the souls because I just don't care about rares I don't use, even if their soul is 6-star. 130, cool. 2 more 10 pops, and then we wrap it up with the mortals. And honestly, we're not getting anything that's like super useful to me, and obviously we're not getting any points because there's no event aside from the I guess we're getting deck of fate points or whatever, but we're not getting soul chase benefits in terms of the higher benefits for what we get out of the soul stones. 2-star Brace, don't have her as well, but we'll take that. Last 10 pop, here we go. But yeah, I mean, I can't complain though. Honestly, we've gotten a lot of like relatively high level mythicals despite not having them. So if I do end up getting them in the future, then we're basically kind of set, which is a good place to be. Turvold, don't have him. And then yeah, one last thing is a 2-star on the Whisper. Sorry, there we go. 150 mortals all used up, and we get a bunch of immortal soul coins from that, which is always good. And let's do a quick awakening check. So what do we have? Yep, it is an upgrade. So this is Wukong Prime. I do have 2 Wukongs, but we'll take the extra stats on the accuracy. Does help him do his job a little bit easier in terms of maybe sheeping some low resistance PvP target. But like I said, I don't really use him as much anymore, unfortunately, just because he's kind of the meta's moved away from polymorph single target and whatnot, and his passive is kind of strong, but not the most useful thing anymore. Anyways, I digress. Lorchazar from 2 to 4. We'll take that extra. Well, actually, it doesn't really matter because he had a 2-star already, which was the attack, which increases bomb damage. Crit damage doesn't help with the bombs, neither does defense. So I guess this is an upgrade, but not really useful. Oh, Packmaster. Okay, I thought he was at 1-star. He's at 0 stars. Okay, well there we go. We get a blessing. We get to pick a blessing for Packmaster Shack. I'll have to think about what that should be. Might be Cruelty. I don't know if Cruelty is on the team that he's on. I'll have to double check that later. Gorgrab, yes, it was an upgrade from 1 to 2 stars. Okay, extra attack doesn't really help him. He's a support champion, but nonetheless, he is helpful in certain Doom Tower secret rooms and whatnot. 1 to 4 for Morag Bronzelock, big. So she gets the defense and the crit damage alongside the HP, so she's tankier and deals more damage. Perfect, that's what you want to see. Ultimate Garlic here. Don't really use so much anymore, but we'll take it. 0 to 2. Awesome. Maybe a Doom Tower secret room orcs or something. I think that might be his one use case. And then I think that's basically it for the ones that are currently awakened, at least. Okay, Gerptuck. Yeah, he's at 0. Or actually, that might be... No, I only have 1. Okay, yeah. We can awaken him after CVC or something like that. All right, so there goes the Mortals. We are going to do a 10 pop of Immortals, mainly because there are no booster rates on right now, so I'm expecting that we're not going to get 2 things or a duplicate off the wish list. So let's hope that I am correct in that assumption and we don't waste a bunch of Mortals here, but or Immortals. But I don't expect, again, I don't expect a crazy amount of stuff to happen here. 3-star Fjorad, okay, we'll take it. Don't have him. Another mythical 4-star Arbase. We got a 2-star earlier, but I also think I have a 4-star Arbase already. And legendary, 4-star Vergumcar, not that exciting. Yeah, 5-star Isabel, don't use her. Don't use really any of these epics. Maybe Lodric. I used to use him, but not useful much anymore, unfortunately. Okay, well, not much to see there, unfortunately, but we'll double check. But yeah, we are getting a lot of duplicate mythical souls, it seems like, at least to start here. So we need to do 12 Immortals. So we did the first 10, then we'll do 2 single pulls here, and then we'll wrap things up with the 3 Eternals, another rare, not that exciting, unfortunately. And last but not least, our 3 Eternals. Let's see if we can get something game-changing from these, or are we just gonna get a bunch of epics? Ooh, it's a 5-star Errol, who I kind of mainly don't use, but I think it's an upgrade for him, so we'll definitely take that. But I was really hoping for something off the wish list. A 5-star Lydia would have been crazy. An epic here, Fang Cleric. Don't use him, unfortunately. He's one of the most underwhelming revivers in the game, even for an epic or by epic standards. The last chance, legendary Lydia! Sweets! Okay, awesome. That's a win. That is totally a win. I literally called her by name. We got the 5-star Lydia Soul. That is, all right, today's automatically a success based on that alone. That is absolutely massive, so we'll go and put that on her straight away. Like I said, I have the Nature's Bounty Blessing on her for Chimera, so this improves the chance of it upgrading the basic fear into a true fear for Chimera, which in aggregate, I guess over the long haul, it should increase my damage potential by letting my DPS not murk themselves as much. Hopefully that's worth it. But let me know what blessing you guys run on your Lydias if you differ from my strategy, because like I said, mine is built and optimized for Chimera, so we'll definitely take that. That's a win. That's a huge win for the day. So Errol gets from 0 to 5 stars. Cool. Doesn't mean I'm going to use him more than I already do, but again, we'll take it. Blessings are cool to have, or awakening stats are cool to have on anyone. Vergumcar, oh, he was 0 as well. Okay, we'll jump him up to 4-star. All right, we're making some upgrades, at least in terms of all the legendaries. So once again, can't really complain. Today's been a pretty solid session. Lodric, might as well. Like I said, I haven't used him in years. Scarab King, way back in the day, but I've since developed a much more robust team in terms of fighting the Scarab King. Bear off the Blood-Soaked, sure. Extra defense. I think he's HP based and built for damage in the Cursed City, so they're probably not going to help him. The 4-star would have been a little bit better. And then Grunch, I think I use him in one iteration of the Cursed City Nether Spider combination, so he's a cleanser, so extra defensive stats. We'll take that. Cool. And yeah, that's pretty much everything that really matters. Pig Sticker, used to use her way back in the day. I'm talking like 4+ years ago, and I'll just do that just because, but she's not really doing anything currently on my account. Moxknocker as well, sure. Moxknocker, used to use him for Sand Devil, but he's been since in the vault because I've gotten much better strategies for that over the years. Cool. Maneater, sure. All right, Maneater, we'll just do all the upgrades. We're doing all the upgrades apparently, and we broke the game. Fantastic. I'm kidding, but yeah, okay. That's a decent amount of upgrades for epics along the ways, but I think the legendary here, the Lydia, is kind of the stealing the show there. So I don't even know what to. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter because we're done with the session. But yeah, I guess I'll have to replace her in the wish list. But that's big. That is big for me. So let me double check really quickly before we do our summons. What is the rate now, or what is the chance of flipping the small version into the big version? 45. Okay, so almost a 50-50 chance of upgrading the fear into a true fear. That's pretty substantial. On top of the extra stats, that's one thing I didn't even consider. Long term, my goal is to rebuild my Lydia into a 9-piece feral set. I have yet to achieve the accessories. That's what's kind of holding me back from doing that. But in the meantime, she's just in 6-piece protection with perception. But one of my problems is that my feral gear is just not overall that good in terms of having high accuracy and high resistance. Because my Lydia is built, I've talked about this in various videos over the years and months, but I have her built high accuracy for Chimera, but also high resistance so that she can be my debuffer in like Doom Tower hard. So 450 plus is kind of where I'm, because I just run her, she's a universal debuffer. I like to use her in as many areas as possible. So getting the extra 75 on both is kind of massive for filling in that stat gap. So it'll make the switch, I guess the point being, it'll make the switch over to 9-piece feral that much easier in the future. All right, real quickly, as promised, let's take a look at our mythical soul collection here. So we got some couple of new faces. So Sabrael is new, Arn is new, Karosa is apparently not new. I thought she was the first copy, but we have her at 5-star, so we don't need the 2-star anymore. Fiorad, we got the 3-star, but we already had a 5-star. Empress is pointless because he's a 5-star. Ashnar was the newer one. We got 2 Calamitous 1-star, but yeah, as I suspected, I do have a 5-star for Calamitous, not the champion, of course. And then, yeah, our base was the last one. So we got a 2 and a 4, but I already have a 4, so we can sell these 2. So once again, decent amount of coins in terms of that. But yeah, when it comes to mythical souls, I basically keep 1 copy of each, at least insofar as ones I don't have, and that way, I can upgrade them over time. And the ones I happen to have, I might keep a spare copy of a soul. Not that I really intend to build a second copy of any mythical, because that's ridiculously rare or unlikely for free-to-play players such as myself to have multiple copies of multiple mythicals, ignoring the ones that I already do have, cough cough. But long term, I'm just keeping like the 1-star Mesmo, 1-star Gizmak. I have them in case I get a second one, but I'm not really sure I would build a second copy of either of them in the long term. But nonetheless, in case I do have the spare souls for it. All right, so hopping over to the Deck of Fate, we have our 40,000 points. This is probably like the 3rd Deck of Fate. I'll check that afterward as well, that I've fully completed. But yeah, in terms of doing this in a mathematically smart way, we've got 9 epic cards. Let's round up to 10. So let's say there's 2 epics on average, 2 epics per row, assuming a random distribution. We've got 14 rares. So let's say there's about 3 per row, and then the rest of them should be common. So I guess 3 per row. Is that at a 5? Yeah, so it's not an exact science, of course, but around 3 commons per row, 3 rares per row, and 2 epics per row. So let's see if we can get some streaks, because of course there is no pinning feature. So honestly, what I kind of like to aim for is streaks of green, because there's the most plentiful card. But unfortunately, we got a blue. So the most likely way to find another blue is to go to a different row, and we got an epic. Okay. Same logic applies, so different row, back down to blue, unfortunately, different row, green. Okay, now we want to go to a row that does not have a green yet. Nope, we found a blue. Okay, we got 2 blues up here, so more likely than not, we'd have another blue, and I mean, there might be one in this row, but there's more likely to be one in one of the other rows without a blue, so let's try here. Nope, we got a green. Okay. Go to the bottom one, try to find a green. Okay, the top row should have a green somewhere. There we go. Cool. 3 of a kind, and come on, Chaos Ore, 50 gems. Not bad. We'll take the 50 gems. That's effectively energy. All right, clean streak. Let's look for, ideally, again, I want to find as many greens early as possible. That way we can kind of save the epics for later. So far, we've only got 1 epic, which is a decent place to be. Okay, there's a green. So we need to find more green. So most likely in the middle row here. Yep. And then the next option is probably between the bottom and the top. top. So let's go with the bottom row. Cool. Got another. Is that back to back? Six greens in a row. We'll take the ancient shard. Cool. Fresh streak. I guess at this point we might look more so for an epic. Let's see if we can find one here. No, another green. Okay, let's try to find green. So there's 3 in this row. There could be more, but there's unlikely to be. We found 2 in this one. 1, 1, 1. So one of the top 3 rows, and it's more likely in this row. Oh, unfortunately, okay, we found one of the epics. Okay, so there's around 2 epics per row. So odds are decent that there's one in this row, correct? Okay. Then from there, I would guess that our best bet might we could try to find, you know, the second one in this row. It's a 1 in 4 chance, but I'm feeling that's kind of a tough sell at this point. So let's see. I know some people think or have mentioned that there's typically purples and like L's and stuff. So let's try to go one above or below. I guess they're kind of equal in terms of potential. Let's go bottom. Ah, it's green. Unfortunate. All right, so there's 3 greens here, 3 greens here, 1 green here. So let's try to find another green up here. Nope, we got a blue. So there's 3 blues up here, which is kind of outside our average range. So let's try to find a blue in this row because we have no blue so far. Is there a blue here? No, it's a green. Okay, back to green. Green, we got 4 greens here, which is above average. I mean, one of these rows has less than that. Let's see if this top row is all a bunch of high stuff. Oof, it is a bunch of high stuff. Okay, so we got 4 blues here, 1 blue here. Still no blues in this row. I'm confident in our approach. Okay, there we go. There's our blue there. And the next likely place for a blue is probably in the bottom row. Yes, it is. Cool. 3 blues in a row, and we get 200 gems. Okay, 250 gems so far. Cannot complain about our streaks. And luckily, we've found only 3 epic cards so far. So there are still 6, meaning that we have 2 chances to get a triple epic streak, which is decent odds. Of course, the maximum would have been, there's only 9, so the maximum is 3 to begin with. We've also found half of the rare cards as well. So there's 7 remaining, meaning there's still a chance for blue streaks as well. All right, I think we kind of want to hunt for blues at this point, but we might hit a purple. Yep, purple is going to be fairly likely as well. Okay, so we've got one epic here. There might be another one in this row. There might be another one in this row. Honestly, this row is probably our best bet because it's assuming there's a second one in this row that's a 50-50 chance. Let's go here. It's a blue, unfortunate. Okay, so two blues here, 1 blue here, 1 blue here, 4 blues there. Most likely a blue would be in this second row. And nope, we got a green. Okay. It's not a foolproof method, but it is a decent method, assuming, you know, on average, kind of a randomness of the cut distribution here. I've been burned by this top row, but I believe that there's some greens up here. There we go. All right, there's a green. Let's go. Let's double down. Oh, it's a blue. There's a hell of blues in the top row. Okay. They baited me in. Okay, so we got 5 blues in the top row. Unexpected there. Which means there's like 5 blues remaining. The 5 last blues are most likely between the second and third row. They could be pushed towards the bottom, but I'm just gonna assume that's not the most likely place. So let's go with the second row right here in the corner. No, that is an epic one. Okay, we gotta be careful here. Epics, we have 5. There's only 4 remaining, so this is basically our last chance to get an epic streak. So most likely, since we've got the 1 here, 2 here, 1 here, 1 here, it's a kind of a gamble to try and search for the one that might be in the middle row versus just kind of betting that this is the second epic. Unfortunate. There's only 1 epic there in that row. Well, there had to be, well, I mean, there could be multiple rows with 1 or 0, in fairness. But anyways, okay. Blue, back to blues. So most likely there's some blues in row 2. Yes, okay. And then we got to start filling in this middle row here. So we'll just take a random stab. Hopefully we can get it. Oh, it's purple. Okay. Are we done on purples, or is this our last chance? This might be the final chance because we have 3 and then 3, so there's 2 more. So we have to hit it perfectly, or else we don't get an epic streak this entire session here. So we got 1, 2, 1, 1. Fully fleshed out 1. So they're most likely, if we're looking for 2 per row. Well, no, that if these rows are filled, then these each had 1. which accounts for the fact that there's 9 cards instead of 10. This has 2, so it's unlikely to be one of these 3. It's very likely to be one of these 3. And it's quite likely to be one of these 5. So I'm going to take my chances with the bottom row, 33% chance, and we missed it. Okay, green it is. So we're just going to start filling in this row. Oh, there it is. So close. Okay, it doesn't really matter what we do here. We're going to lose the streak no matter what. Rares 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This is 12. So there's only 2 more rares. We have to, once again, we have to hit this perfectly or else we're done basically with the streaks, the important streaks, I should say. Blues most likely in row 2. Yes. Okay, we got 4 here. 2, 2, 3, 1. So odds are there 3 in this row, 3 in this row, or 2 in this row? I'm betting more that there's 2 in this row. So let's go. Let's make a triangle. Oh, the triangle method failed us. All right. So green. There's still 1 blue and there's still 1 purple. So ideally we miss those, but those can perfectly show up such that we don't get the last green streak. So this is probably a blue. We're missing greens mostly in these 2 rows. So let's check out this spot. There's a green, and let's check out that spot. Okay, cool. I think that's it. That's it for streaks because there's nothing left that we can get. 2-star basalt, not the most useful. So it doesn't really matter what we do here. That's the last blue. That is one of the greens. This is the last purple, and then this is also a purple. Cool. All right. So we did get the fragments on the last one, and then I think we got the last Titan event points on the third to last one. So no matter what, that's why we kind of flipped every card in the deck, because we're practically guaranteed to require all of them, get all of the fragments as well as all the Titan event points. All right, so not too bad. Hit a couple of green streaks, 1 blue streak, and we got, what was it, like 250 gems total, which is pretty substantial. That's going to help us a lot for the Titan event and other upcoming events. It's not going to help us for the Harmonious Path, but it will help us, farm gear, finish gear hunters and all that kind of stuff. So if anyone's curious in terms of my progress in the Titan event, we are now at 830 points. I have done I've earned every single point except for the upper 150 of the first summon rush. So that's the first set of 150 that I've skipped. I still have 100 more points that I can skip, and that is TBD exactly where that will be. It might be in the Heroes Path starting tomorrow. We'll kind of take a look at that. So stay tuned for the free-to-play review of the Harmonious Path tomorrow, and we'll see if it's worth it to skip out on the last 100 points on that one or to chase something else entirely. It's been announced already that it is 2x on Voids. So my participation there will be present, but probably not too plentiful. I do have a ton of Voids in fairness, but I don't know. Well, it depends what the milestones are, what the requirement is. So we're going to play that one by ear. But anyway, stay tuned for that video coming out tomorrow. But yeah, once again, awesome session. Cannot complain. 5-star Lydia is a massive, massive upgrade, and it helps me long-term, again, build her in 9-piece Pharaoh once I get the accessories. Eventually get the accessories to kind of pull that off. That is going to do it for today's Soul Summoning session. So let me know in the comment section down below if you were also pursuing the champion from the Deck of Fate and or the Titan event points from the Deck of Fate, or you just wanted to rip through some Soulstones and see what happens. Let me know if you got anything good from your Soulstone summons. As always, if you did enjoy the video, then be sure to hit that like button down below. It really does help out the channel, and feel free to hit the subscribe button down below as well, if and only if you're enjoying the content overall on the channel for more content just like this one in the future. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.